Thank you for tuning in to my Prerogative podcast. I'm Nikita.
I'm El Capitan Moises.
And this morning we'll be talking about romantic jealousy.
It's about to
Ooh.
be spicy.
All right. So just to kick things off, what is romantic jealousy? So per Google, romantic jealousy is defined as a complex of thoughts, feelings, and actions which follows threat to self-esteem and or threats to the existence or quality of the relationship. When those threats are generated by the perception of potential attraction between one's partner and a perhaps imaginary rival.
This was a whole thesis on it. I was like, damn, this is a long explanation.
I think that was like a two-parter because one, it was acknowledging, the threat to the person that is jealous to their existence or the quality of the relationship, to their self-esteem, and then also the threat to the relationship by like outside participants. So it was like adding all context.
Sounds like you're about to give a lecture. I should be taking
You know
notes.
what? I'm inclined. I can if you want to do that. But
That's what the people want.
all right. So what is your experience here? Which side of this fence have you been on?
Both.
Okay.
What about you?
Explain.
What about I want
Def-
to even exchange? What about you? I can't just be the only vulnerable one.
I mean, I've been on both, but I think my previous relationships, I'm probably the one that's jealous, if I'm
Really?
being completely honest. Yeah, I was. I did lack, self-esteem, especially, feelings of being secure in a relationship. And I think a lot of it came from me carrying trauma from other relationships into current relationships. So I never, although like I did have like that space and time in between my relationships, I didn't really fully give myself time to let go of the trauma or deal with the trauma of the past relationship before I moved on. I just kind of like gave myself time to get over that person, and like I would play back the shit that happened in the relationship in my head, but I never had like professional help where someone could tell me, hey, this is what happened and this is why you feel this way and you don't have to feel this way. I thought that, the demise of the relationship was my fault. And so, yeah, I would carry that.
It's not your fault.
What about you though? I mean, yeah, I know that now, but
Oh yeah, I know that now, Moses. What about me? So I guess like I'm not like a jealous person per se, but I know I've had partners who have been. I have partners who've been jealous of how I act with other people, and people who've been jealous of people that I've been with in relationships. In terms of me, I have to really dig deep for me being jealous. I have to dig really deep. I know I've been jealous before. It's something Nikita's gone. Nikita left.
you don't strike me as the jealous type,
I'm really
to
not.
be honest.
I'm really not. I'm a.
Why? Why do you think so? Why do you think so? Is it because you're able to just go with it? Like if someone was like you were in a relationship with somebody and you're in love with this person and this person is like giving another man or woman more attention than, she's giving to you, you still wouldn't be jealous? Like
It would depend on the type of attention they're giving that person. Like, is it like if they're just like friends or something? Like, hey, whatever. I'm chill. I do my own thing. Like, it's fine.
okay.
They're not cheating, and like they're all just friends. It's like, oh, yeah.
No, not cheating,
Yeah,
but
that's
just
like,
like
yeah, if it's truly
wanting to be with somebody else more than you, like giving somebody else more time and attention. And you see that and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm here. I'm in a relationship with you.
no, I'd probably be pretty chill.
Okay.
Be like, you know what? That's fine. As long as it didn't like, I don't think it would super bother me that much. Because there's special, unique things that we probably do together as being a relationship, and that's fine with me. You know, that's fine. I'd probably be chill. I'm
Hmm.
not. I am not a jealous person just because. Number one, growing up, it was like the number one piece of relationship advice I got from my family. Don't be a jealous person. So I think it was ingrained into me a little bit, like as a little kid was like, okay, when I get a girlfriend, I'm gonna try not to be the jealous type of person. So it's like I feel like I was conditioned that way. It's like, yeah, I'm just not jealous, you know. And Nikita's like,
Okay, so I want to get something squared away
uh-oh,
real quick.
am I in
So
trouble?
when I think of jealousy, because envy is a natural human emotion, it's a way that our body tells us or signals to us that, you know, we need to go in a different direction or we need to change course or this is a lack that is essential for us to have. So it's kind of like a built-in mechanism for you to advance and excel and be better.
Hmm.
Whereas jealousy, I think it has like a malicious component to it where it's more like, oh, I don't want you to have this and I want you to suffer, or I want you to lose what you worked for because you have it and I don't, and I'm jealous of you. So, although I'm going to use these terms interchangeably during this, this podcast, I do want to get it straight that when we say jealous, there's no malicious intent. It's more of that natural human emotion that, you know, kind of like signifies to you that there is a lack somewhere, but there's no malicious intent to it. So,
Is your
because
camera
I hate, huh?
is your camera still there?
Yeah.
Hmm. It's dark on it went black on my screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
It'll come back. But,
I get to enjoy myself.
so what does romantic jealousy feel like?
Um, I guess. I mean, I guess like as you said, like maybe like just wanting to own or control your partner, like if they're giving even like a bit of like that attention or affection to someone else, you're like, no, you can't do that. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I in that sense, I'm definitely. I don't know if I've ever experienced. Oh, I've definitely experienced that. I guess I've been jealous before, not very often, but like it's happened before. Moses dips into the toxic emotions sometimes. Moses dips his toe in them.
Um, I guess for me, it's like a really strong emotion that makes you feel like you're losing control. Like you can't control it. It's like that powerful. Like the energy of being jealous is like super powerful. And it's almost like you kind of lose control no matter how much you try to like recenter yourself and, you know, do, you know, positive reinforcement with yourself. Like, you
Mm.
know, you can't bring it back to like reality and what could potentially be going on. And then too, it could be like a sign that your intuition is trying to tell you, hey, something is off, right? And so it's just that nagging feeling that you just can't control. So it's definitely a loss of control um, when jealousy is involved. So that's what it feels like to me.
Interesting.
But I've been jealous, so.
Like, well, I'm a jealous person, Moses. So,
All right. So, do you
actually,
think
wait,
romantic?
this makes sense. This actually makes perfect sense because of the trail.
What?
Like, you're a jealous person. That's why I don't bring anyone else on the trail. You'd be like, Moses, what are you doing? Moses, what the fuck is this?
Okay. Past tense, okay, but we've talked about that. So what's understood don't need to fucking be explained, and don't test my gates to Moses. You don't want no smoke. I already asked you.
We've already cleared this up, Moses. We had the
Already
discussion.
fucking, we've already set boundaries for that fucking trail. I don't want to hear anything else about it. Okay. I think you get a kick out of that because you always bring that shit up to, I think you just want to, get my reaction behind it. But you don't want no fucking smoke, Moses.
Maybe I want a lot, Nikita. All right.
All right. So maybe you do. So is romantic jealousy natural?
I think it is natural. Yes. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think it is natural because I think even if you're not a jealous person, I think we've all experienced it before. I think I think romantic love can be so it can be so intense, so incredibly personal that like you can like hold it close and want to keep it like I guess to use like a term you said like keep in control of it, like keep it very close to the chest. So I think it is
Hmm.
natural. Like even
Hmm.
though even though I would say I'm not a jealous person, that emotion like I know like I still can access that. I still can tap into that like in little bits because like it feels just like like I don't want to lose you. Like what are you doing? Like oh I just want to keep you to myself. Like, we all feel that. So I do think it is a natural feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's natural and I think it's levels to it. So I think like
Mm,
sometimes you may experience jealousy and it's just like a fleeting thought or it's just like, a temporary thing.
mm.
And sometimes, like I said, you can really get lost in it and it can kind of overpower you. So I think it's definitely natural, but I do think that, and I think almost everyone except for Moses experiences it, but it's like levels to it. So, not everyone maybe overreact or react at all. Maybe they just think about it and it like kind of passes. So, but I think it's natural.
I think something you just said tapped into something where I think there's also a extreme inverse that can also be a bad thing where like you say like yes I'm not a jealous person but I should say like I think there's the extreme where jealousy is like really bad but then like if you're extremely the opposite it's like that's also not good where it's like oh I just don't give a fuck I don't care you know
Right.
so it made me think like Moses is not a jealous person but like maybe like sometimes he should because it shows he cares.
Right? Maybe, you're a narcissist. I don't know. Like, that's weird. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't think you're a narcissist, and I don't think that everyone like experiences it on like that broad, really intense spectrum.
Yeah.
I think not broad, but that intense spectrum. I think, it's a broad, diverse way, that this emotion can kind of creep in
Mm.
and appear and show up. And I think for more people, it's more intense. I think there is like the average, though, like, the median where a lot of people may be able to relate to like, feeling jealous because somebody is paying, your spouse or your mate is paying more attention to somebody else, and
Mm.
you feel like, oh, what about me? I'm not important, and things like that, which you clearly don't experience. But yeah, I think there is a median, and then there's like the outliers. So
I think as the discussion keeps going, there are situations
you
that
trying to you like I am normal.
I want to go back and rewatch all the episodes and just see the vibe. I'm giving it like, is Moses actually just an egotistical narcissist gaslighter?
Egomaniacal.
It's like, what vibe am I putting out in the world?
No, 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 no. You're good. I
But
mean, but it's true though. I don't think that you are. You don't strike me as a person that would like. You just strike me as a person that would be like, oh, I understand that, and just go with it. Like, you said that you wouldn't mind being in an open relationship and hearing about your partner's sexual escapades with other people, right? You wouldn't mind watching. So me, somebody like me, like that would fucking, I would be devastated. So,
Nikita's like, no, I don't even bring
foot
that shit.
down.
No, wait. You just wouldn't want to hear about it, or you just wouldn't be able to do a relationship
I
to begin
wouldn't
with.
do it. No.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm-mm.
That's fine.
No, no, no. All right. What do you think it comes from, though?
What? Romantic jealousy?
Yeah. Where do you think it stems from?
It can either come from like I think like you said, like a need to be in control of things, like or at least to have things within the realm of control. Like, hey, like something happening outside of my purview. I don't like that shit. Or it could
Mm-hmm.
be from maybe come from a point if you're like a narcissistic type of person, like no, you can't. This isn't. I'm not clumping these together. These are two separate things. So this is like a whole different person now. It could come from like a narcissistic maybe point of view, where it's like, I am amazing. Why are you talking to other people? Like, you should know I'm the best you're ever gonna do, or something like that. Like, it can, I think if it's to those extremes, it can get maybe like a little bit from like more extreme causes. But I think really just people. Oh, please go, please.
No, no, no. Go. Finish your thought. I think people just really what?
I think everyone at least wants to have. Being in a relationship is such a vulnerable situation. I think a lot of people just want to try to express some sort of control over the dynamic in some way. You know what I mean?
True. True.
Because no one wants to
True.
get hurt, so it's like, please don't hurt me or something.
Right.
But not like in a mean, controlling, but like,
No, no, no. I agree. I mean, I agree. I think that that's a very valid point. But just to add to it, I think that it could also come back from like, unmet childhood needs or, other traumatic relationships that you hadn't fully recovered from. And that creates low self-esteem or, self-esteem issues that probably didn't affect you at one point. So, other people put their shit on people all the time, and then we carry other people's shit with us, and we don't know, what we're dealing with or where it came from. Now we're just, half the person that we were before we got into the relationship, and you just move on with your life, not dealing with the trauma that you dealt with, and then you're in another relationship, and it's like, oh shit, you're gonna do the same thing to me that this person did, and so jealousy can kind of creep in there too.
I just want to say, I think every like adult therapeutic like discussion or topic always makes me very afraid to be a parent because it's always
Why?
because like it's always like it's like it always goes back to like childhood trauma. It's like, damn, I'm gonna
I know.
I'm gonna I don't mean to fuck these kids up. It's like
I know, right?
it's like, Dad, yes, because of this childhood trauma. My God, I did the best I could.
It's like you can't be perfect. Like you're gonna drop the ball somewhere, no matter how involved or what you give, your kids, like something is gonna fucking come up. And then too, I want to add too, like I think self-image issues can also cause jealousy because if you don't feel deserving and you don't feel worthy of this person's love or attention or respect or trust, you'll always think that they're doing something or that they don't mean what they say to you.
That's true.
So,
It's a big one. I can see that.
yeah.
But
Or unrealistic expectations.
that's true. Well, look at us.
Yeah. It's like you set unrealistic expectations and then when these people can't meet it, it's an issue. It's like, oh, you don't love me,
You don't love me, do you?
you hate me.
Nikita, how could you? Don't you care about this? About us? About the trail? It meant nothing to you. It meant nothing. I'm leaving.
All right. So how would you deal with romantic jealousy? 'Cause,
'Cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, 'cause, ' In from what perspective? Like my partner's romantically jealous, or like I'm the one who's jealous?
Your partner.
Ooh, okay, okay, because it's different answers. Um, because I've experienced this before, and depending on the partner, sometimes your response will be drastically different. Because sometimes they'll ask for crazy things from you. It's like, uh, I mean,
Explain. Expound on that.
she's like, Moses, go deeper, go deeper. Like, why don't you go deeper on that? That's juicy.
Let me give my therapist face.
Right? No, that was your content face. Like, that's good content. Go deeper. So like, I had an ex girlfriend, and she she was one of those ex girlfriends that didn't like that I had female friends like that I was just friendly with and things like that. And so
Mm.
like like I would hang out with them. Like I could sometimes hang out with them like just like alone because we were just friends. There was nothing weird going on or anything like that. But like it really like upset her. It really upset her. It really made her jealous. And like she was like, "Hey, like I don't want you to have like female friends." Like like that whole discussion of like
Damn.
when a partner's like, "I don't want you to have male friends. I don't want you to have female." That whole shebang bang. And it was actually like a very it was a tough situation because like oh man like that's a lot to ask someone like if nothing is truly sinister going on, if I know they're just my friends, for me to just say, hey, I'm gonna not hang out with you guys anymore because of like my partner asked it. It's like, oh, that's a big ask. That's a big change. So I was very conflicted when that happened. I tried my best to just reassure and have a conversation, be like, hey, they're, like say it's nothing, it's purely platonic, things like that. Because, at that age, I enjoyed, friends were very new to me. So I cherished all of them, all of my relationships. Like, I don't want to get rid of multiple people just for one person. That sounds kind of wrong.
You know what? That makes sense. Like that logically
Yeah,
makes sense. Like I don't want to give up multiple people for one person.
but saying it that way, that made me sound a bit like a dick.
No, it didn't actually. It probably quite the contrary, to be honest.
Maybe if I didn't say that in the conversation, but I bet if I did, I probably would have sounded like a jerk. Like, I'm not giving up multiple people just for one person.
You know what? It brought me back to like someone who was like a whore and now they're considering like being in a relationship. It's like, do I want to give up all my hoes for like this one person? Like, if it was like that type of, context, then yeah, you would sound like a dick. Not really, because it's like that's your choice. Like maybe you don't, maybe you're not ready. But I think, yeah, I think these are friends and relationships matter. They're important, and I wouldn't want to give up, or I wouldn't give up my friendships for, a relationship. It would
Yeah,
just be like, if this is something you can't deal with, this is me. This is, you have to accept all of me. And if you can't deal with it and accept it, then maybe we shouldn't be together.
because like on one hand, I understood that I cared for that person at the time, but at the same time, I also felt like it was coming from a toxic place that I didn't really relate to or didn't really want to like give into, if that made sense, where it's like this doesn't feel like it's coming from a good place. You know what I mean? Like should we just talk about it and try to resolve it, or should I just give into it? And that felt wrong to just be like, I'm just gonna give up all my friends for it's one person, and it's like I coming from like maybe not the best place. So
So how did you deal with it? Besides the reassurance, like what ultimately happened?
I mean
Obviously, she's not still around, but
I say get out. So pack your things, get out of here.
well, what happened though? Like, what happened with the relationship?
I mean, I just put my foot down, said, they're my friends. I like them. I cherish them. They're part of my life. I'm not gonna just cut them out.
Aww.
It's like,
Do you regret your decision?
no, no, because I kept those
Good.
friends longer than I knew her. So
Right.
so it felt like it was the right thing to do. I still
Um,
even know her, so even we didn't end on like a bad note or anything. Actually, it was all
right.
very amicable.
Okay. I mean, but aren't you the same person that once said that if you broke up with somebody, like you don't want any communication, like you don't want to deal with this person, out of sight, out of mind? That's how you
Depends
move on?
depends how bad it is. But even with that person, I did that. They messaged me like years later and like, "Hey Moses, what's up?" I was like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hey, Moses, you still got those friends? While you were-
You still got those friends? You're not dating any of them, are you? You fucking liar!
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that that's a big ask, and is definitely, I think it's pretty prevalent in like younger relationships.
You hear about it all the time.
Um, yeah, you really do. I, but then too, like I also feel like, what about the relation, like the friendships that you continue on or carry on with like exes, and it's like kind of overboard and you're entering into a new relationship and it's like, yeah, that's my ex, but now we're friends. But you like go over and like, fix her sink or pay her bill or, pick her kid up from daycare or some shit like that. Like, what do you think about things like that? And I'm probably asking the wrong person because you probably wouldn't, you'd be like, I'll go to like, let me put half on the bill. But, like, what do you think about situations like that?
Coming over to fix your sink. Fix your sink. Gonna fix your plumbing, huh? But I guess in terms of people being like, it's definitely a different situation. Because like friends is friends. I guess your ex is like, you guys were in a relationship. But it. Hold on, let me think if I've experienced this before. Let me. I don't know.
They're like in the door. This person is important to me. If
Yeah,
she calls, I'm fucking going. Like, and if you can't deal with that, then
I,
we don't need to be together.
I've never personally experienced that. Not really. I
But what
know.
would you do if somebody presented that scenario to you?
I mean, I guess I would say on principle, it could be fine. You know what I mean? Like on principle, like there's nothing like inherently wrong with that.
Hmm.
It has the potential to maybe be like a little weird, and I could maybe be weirded out by it. I would have to observe it. You know what I mean? I'd have to, you know what I mean? I had to feel it, be like, see what my gut tells me. Like, hmm,
There's some shit in the game.
like, what's your name?
I don't know. It
Dave?
just strikes me as like the person not like being able or ready to move on. It's like if you still want to be with her or, if there's still something there, like maybe you shouldn't be trying to get into another relationship.
I mean,
That's how I feel.
it's one of those because like so I think the most experience I've had with this is from an outside perspective. Meaning like when I was in college, uh, the ballroom I was captain of the ballroom dance team, I was a part of that, and all of my friends came from that. And everyone like we all spent so much time together. Everyone started dating within the team, but we're also like a close knit friend group. So like I've seen situations where it's like you date you're friends with someone, you guys date, you break up, and it's like okay, we're all still a group though, so it's like we still like hang out and shit. So it's like you're exes, but you're still friends. So it's like I've seen it happen before, where it's like yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you were friends before you dated, just because you dated, you like stop being friends, maybe, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you guys
But I think
just
like it naturally, like you guys naturally drift apart because it's like, that role that I was playing is filled by someone new. So, I mean,
I mean, maybe, but like you can still be like I've seen exes transition back to being friends before. Like I've seen it.
yeah. But not to that extreme though.
Oh, that like
Not
they
to the
call and like,
extreme. It's like whenever she calls or he calls, I'm out. You know,
yeah, that's a little weird.
that's weird. Yeah. So if it were me, I think how I would deal with romantic jealousy is definitely through communication. And I think it depends on like how severe it is because, if it's like distrust,
Hmm.
um, or like persistently, like you coming at me and you're accusing me of things, then that would be like, okay, look, you clearly don't trust me, so this won't work because it doesn't matter what I say, you won't believe me because you
Yeah.
don't trust me. And then the what I think I was going with this, the persistent jealousy, the distrust, the communication. Yeah, I think that's pretty much if it's too extreme, then we shouldn't be together. Oh, this is what I was trying to say. But I think a mild level of jealousy is cute. I like that. Like
I
a
like a,
mild level of jealousy, I could dig that,
just a
But
just a sprinkle.
just a little sprinkle of it. Yeah, because it probably would make me feel like, oh, this person he's jealous. But yeah, if it's like persistent or if it's like extreme or if it's distrust, I think if you don't trust somebody, like the relationship is over at that point.
See, Nikita, this is why I egg you on about the trail. Just a little bit, just, just a
Mm-mm.
little sprinkle of it. It's just so cute, you know?
Yeah, I see. That's what it is. That's what it
It's like Moses went without me. Like, you jealous? You jealous, Nikita?
is.
But no, I definitely I can get that. Like a little bit, it could be cute. It's like it
Yeah,
could be playful. You know what I mean? It could be playful.
right, right.
Yeah, I get that. That could be fun. Like just like, a little jealous. Like, yeah,
Mm,
I
a
am
little bit, a little
a
bit.
little bit.
Should you tolerate jealousy, or how much should you tolerate jealousy?
I think we're hitting the nail on the head. Where it's like there could be toxic jealousy. There could be like tolerable, playful jealousy. Where it's like it depends how you can feel the difference. You know, you can feel the where the vibe of it is coming from. Like, is this playful jealousy? Like, they're comfortable and fine. They're just like egging me on, poking me in the arm, or are they
Right.
like, like,
In your face.
like Moses, where are you going? What are you doing? You ever call me every end of every hour? If I don't get that call, I got turn the location on your phone on. I'm tracking you.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I
Um,
had that happen to me
is
once.
is it a red flag to you?
I mean, if someone does that to me, yes, that's a little that's a little all a bit.
No, just like when you first enter into a relationship and they're like, who you on the phone with? Or who was that? What were you doing? You didn't answer my call. Where were
Mm,
you? Like that type of.
to me, to me, it can get annoying eventually. It can get annoying because it's like, bro, calm down, calm down. Because I've had that happen to me where it's like, oh, who you? Because like they try to like keep it chill and under the radar. Like, oh, who are you texting? It's like you ask that every time on my phone. Like who am I texting? I only hang out
it's
with you.
it's subtle now, but it's gonna like turn into like in your face, like snatching your phone. Who the fuck is this in your phone?
Think about it. It could be subtle, but if you do it every single time, it's no longer subtle.
Right. It's like, okay, this is apparent. There's an issue here.
Yeah.
Let's like, pull back this onion and
It's
see what the fuck is the problem.
it's like you clearly have something you want to say, but you're trying your best not to say it. It's like, oh, like who you texting? Oh, you took your phone to the bathroom. Like I watch YouTube when I'm on the toilet. You just want me to sit in the bathroom in silence?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think it just depends on the level of jealousy that, when you kind of realize, like, okay, this is a red flag. This person has issues that they need to deal with before they enter into a relationship. So
You want
I
to
agree.
you want to know the interesting part? the
What?
the person who did all those things, who did that to me, like, oh, like, who you texting, where you going, where you coming back, all that, was the person who cheated on me twice. It was that girl.
Shut the. Oh, guilty conscience.
She's like, he must be cheating back, like man, like damn.
I feel like if you're cheating, like, shut the fuck up. Like, get your rocks off and don't worry about if the other person is because you're doing the same shit. Like, that just baffles me. Like, a person who cheats but wants to control the narrative of the relationship and the person that they cheating on too. Like, I want to do it. You shouldn't do it. So I'm going to constantly nag you and accuse you of cheating, but I'm getting my rocks off too. So I don't know. It's like, at that point, shit, just make it an open relationship.
I wasn't wise. I wasn't wise back then.
Right. In your experience, who is more susceptible to romantic jealousy, men or women?
That's a tough one. Even. I'm gonna say even. Being
That is a tough one.
being chronically online on TikTok all the time, you see the same things said by both sides all the time. So it's like, I don't know. I can't. It seems incredibly even.
I think that's because like the women nowadays are not like the women, 25, 30 years ago. It's like now the women are more empowered and
Mm.
it's like, fuck it. If you do it, I can do it too. So it's not like, they're, at home protecting the home and, just dealing with one man. Like, listen to the music.
City city girls up. Woo!
Right.
City girls.
Listen to the music. It's like if you can do it, I can do it, and I can do it better. So yeah, I think the lines are blurred more so now. I think in the past it may have been women, but that's because they felt like they had to play a specific role in relationship and be like that loyal, faithful subject, I guess, to their partner, whereas the partner was able to go out and do more.
Mm.
And, and that created a space for the woman to feel more jealous because she was at home and he was out. So,
I can see that. But yeah, nowadays,
yeah,
I don't know, pretty even. Anybody can get it.
it's fair game.
Fair game.
Yeah. I mean, and if I'm just being like, maybe it's more men now, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know. It just depends on the person
Yeah,
in these days. Depends on the person and what the fuck they dealing with.
I can't pick one side. I think of I think of picking one. I think of a reason to pick the other. It's like I don't know. Seems like
Yeah.
it's pretty even. Even playing field.
Even playing field. Yeah. All right. So the woman I love is jealous of me as a person. What does that mean?
Is he like super good at stuff and like she doesn't like that or
Possibly. I think with this one, he was more so saying that he has more resources to do more things. And so whenever he wants or needs something, he can just go and get it
mm,
versus with her, like, she has to really grind for things. And it just,
mm.
life is not as easy for her as it is for him. So she's jealous of him.
And I don't know what you do. That's it. I don't know what you can do. I mean, this is you being you,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know. Do you do anything? Can you
Maybe,
do anything?
I mean, if I would maybe end the relationship because it's like clearly my being is making you uncomfortable and unhappy about yourself, your
Mm.
being. So maybe, you want to stay and torture yourself, like free
Like
yourself.
like think about it. It's like, oh, like everything's your life's so good, everything's so easy for you. My life's so hard. Like I hate it. I'm like, okay.
Right. Like my existence is making you feel like shit. You should totally leave. Like,
It's like
I agree.
either do nothing or just start, or I guess like they're giving the other person's stuff. And it's like,
Or, I mean, that person can also bring you down, like make you feel guilty about who you are and your resources that you have,
yeah,
right? Like eventually, she, since it's a woman, can pull you down to like her level of insecurity. And like, that's what I mean by like when people dump and they, you know, put they shit on you and, now you wear it and you don't know where it came
mm,
from. Like, that is a clear cut example of like that scenario specifically. Like, yeah, run is my advice to you. Now thinking about it in that term, like,
see, good
yeah,
relationship. If I'm up, it should be if I'm up. Eventually, we're gonna be up. It's gonna be we're up.
exactly. I know,
Like if you're up,
and it's
hold on.
like,
Eventually, we're
right.
gonna be up.
Learn from me. Look at what the fuck I'm doing and take notes, motherfucker, and do it yourself. And so we both can be up and it's not one sided. But yeah. Do you think you can get over jealousy in a romantic relationship?
Yeah, it depends on the person, but like for me specifically, yeah. Or it depends how persistent it is. It depends what caused it, how persistent it is, and how you naturally react to those types of situations. So like for me, I know I'm a person who can roll roll over things like, okay, I can be in a feeling, but I know like I'll eventually roll out of it or I'll figure out a way to get out of it. But it's like if it's a super toxic, if it's coming from like a super toxic place, or it's spawning from something that is like very persistent, that is constantly like in my face, then it'll be a little harder for me to get out of it. But I think it is
Hmm.
possible. You can definitely. It's not a jealousy doesn't have to be a persistent thing. Even with the same person, like it can pass.
Yeah, I agree. But it's like, how do you come back from it though?
Like how do you like
Like, yeah, like that person will always see you as like a jealous
damn.
person
Let me
or
let me never make you jealous, Nikita. It's like how do you come back from that? I can't. Like damn.
no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously you can like move on and you don't display that behavior, but I don't know. But that was the last question I had. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
It's like Nikita's gonna be like Moses. After you took that other bitch on that trail, I just couldn't look at you the same anymore. Just couldn't look at you the same anymore. There was no going back. It's the end of an era.
Mm, shut up about this trail.
Fine.
All right. Well, thanks for
Oh,
joining.
we're done.
Until next week. Yeah, that was the last question I had.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna talk. I was just gonna discuss.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, what's up? I don't know. We can make up our own questions, or I got time.
Oh my God.
I got time.
You're not done?
I got like,
You're like, I'm just getting started.
yeah, I was in the groove. It's like, all right,
All
Moses,
right.
that's
Well,
it. You know what, babe, you gotta go.
no, no, no. For the sake of the questions, though, I'm gonna end the recording.
Okay.
Okay.